In this video, I'm going to be sharing how I got 825 new financial clients using webinars and using ads. I'm going to go through the client acquisition channel, which includes the money model. This is how we were able to spend money on ads, get that money back quickly, and get clients. The challenge for a lot of financial firms is they don't see an ROI on their ads for like 6 to 12 months. We change that. Talk about the webinar structure, the client acquisition, and by the end of this session, you're going to have some really good ideas that you can implement into your firm to get clients, especially if you are doing any online marketing right now, or if you're thinking about it. I promise you're going to get a few ideas from today's video. So let's dive in. The reality is getting new customers for financial firms are hard. It's never been harder. It's one of the most competitive industries to market in because you're going up against everyone, right? The small firms, the big firms, and lots of people are doing it, right? Getting new customers using online marketing, huge challenge. And the old way doesn't work anymore. You were once able to just run simple ads that were like, hey, book a call. And people would book a call. Then you were able to say, hey, do you want to grab a coffee? You could go to coffee with them. That worked 5 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. If you are running ads right now to just a simple book a call or get a meeting, you're wasting money, right? It doesn't work. The reality of is lots of other people are trying. The financial service business is full of advisors, planners, and companies. They're all trying to get the same customers. So to stand out, you need to do more than just offer good prices and normal help. And you need trust. The challenge with online right now is the level of trust is so low. People are going to give you their money that you're going to be managing and taking care of it. It might be all their life savings, it might be all their investments. You have to show them that they can trust you. If they get a bad feeling, if they're like, I don't really know about this person from their ad, from the landing page, from anything that you do to portray yourself online, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to invest with you. And as I mentioned before, ads just don't work well anymore. And they don't work well alone. You need to have a more structured strategy where there's different touch points, different points where you're adding education and reaching out to them to take the conversation, not just online, but offline as well. So when I started working at one of the biggest financial services company in Canada, I found out the hard way, right? And the challenge when we did online marketing was things changed so fast. It was like 6 months later, what worked isn't working anymore. That was a really big challenge. So I figured out a system that works, thankfully using online marketing because for most of my time there, I did a lot of offline marketing. I was doing events and hosting conferences, and then COVID happened, so we had to go online. And we figured out a system that works, and we kind of accidentally fell into it. And it's something that I don't see a lot of financial firms doing, but it's something that I think if financial firms take seriously, if they study it, they can really transform their business. So, after trying many things and making them better, I found out a way to get new customers in a profitable way. And it works for any firm, right? Focuses on three principles, but whether you're a family office, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a wealth manager, this can work for you. Okay, so lesson number one, I touched on this before, but I need to really drill this in because the world of offline and online is very different. You have to build trust. Period. End of story. This is a trust based business. And when it comes to online, that doesn't change. You can't just spend money on ads thinking that you're going to skip the step of trust building. I wish it worked like that. It doesn't work like that. So ads are at the tip of the iceberg. Ads are an opportunity for you to just get in the room with someone. Then you have emails, then you have education, then you have a phone call, then you have adding value, right? This is where you go lower into the tip of the iceberg. But I want to just go back to that point. Ads are just getting into the room. So to give you an offline example of what that's like, imagine you go to your kid's soccer game, right? You don't talk to a parent, you don't introduce yourself, you're just kind of in that same vicinity. That's what ads do. It's that first opportunity for you to put yourself in front of potential clients. If you push too hard during the ad, they're going to be completely appalled and they will probably never do business with you. That's why it's such a fine line. When you go to your kid's soccer game, you're not running up to each parent saying like, "Oh, I'm a financial advisor, or I have an accounting firm. Here's my card. Let's do business." You're probably not doing that. So don't take that same approach when it comes to online. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to get the sale too fast. Don't make that mistake, right? People need to believe that you're smart, that you care about them, that you're building trust. And if you don't work on building trust first, even the best offer, the best salespeople, they won't get you clients. I don't care how nice your website looks. If you're not building trust, you will not get clients. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the psychology of it and how you can actually use online marketing. And there's one big strategy. This strategy has been around for hundreds of years. It works, and I'm going to talk about what you could do to leverage that in your business to build trust fast using online. But before I dive into that, I want to share you this quick conversation I had with a family office in Toronto. This was last week. And I remember they were just about to hire a marketing agency, speaking to them, and they were like, you know what? Our thoughts are very simple. If I could spend 5,000 and get back 10,000, I'll pay anyone. I'll do it all day long. That doesn't work. That mentality right there is the reason why so many firms are not able to figure out online marketing. This is not like a transaction like that. You don't just put money in and get money out. We have to remember there are real clients at the end of the day, right? There's real people at the end of the day. This isn't like a commodities exchange, right? Or, a dividend play. These are human beings and clients. So we have to use the same principles that have worked forever, but just change them to online. So, in my opinion, that's a broken mentality, right? Because again, we're not selling widgets on Amazon here. This is financial services. You don't just run an ad and boom, clients start falling out the sky. People aren't going to see your ad and just say, "Oh, great, like some stranger on the internet wants my life savings. Like, I totally trust this person." It doesn't work like that. So whether it's online or offline, the rules for getting clients never change. Trust first, sales second. So let's talk about online and offline. So here's what offline trust building looks like. You meet someone at an industry event or a conference or a parent at your kid's soccer game. You build some rapport through, you know, go out to golf, with them. You go for a coffee. You invite them to the office, whatever it might be. You go carpool. You pick their kid up from the soccer game, drop them off just for your chance to speak to the parent, build that relationship. You got to do what you got to do, right? You develop relationships through multiple face-to-face conversations. You leverage personal connections and referrals. You demonstrate experience through some in-person presentations. Maybe you say, "Hey, come to the office, come check it out." That's really the end goal there. So let's talk about offline trust building. This is what it looks like. Okay, same fundamental rules apply, but they're harder to establish. People are way more skeptical with financial decisions when they've just met you online. It requires more touch points before comfort is established, and there's a need for consistent value delivery. You need to constantly be adding value. And there's a greater need for social proof and credibility markers. That's so important. But what I'm so excited to share with you that changed everything for us is that there's one strategy. It's been around for 100 plus years. JP Morgan's doing it, the big consulting firms are doing it, the big financial firms are doing it, that allows you to build trust fast. And we figured this out at the financial firm that I worked at because it was built around that, around education. And that's the word, education. There is a magic to education. It does something that nothing else I've seen is able to do it in a way that it builds trust, it builds authority, it positions you as a leader. It is so magical, yet a lot of firms are not fully taking advantage of that or they're not doing it right. When you are able to educate, you're able to position yourself as an authority. Authority in your space, authority in your community, and an authority that can help them achieve their goals. And when you're able to establish that trust and that authority, my gosh, clients are going to be knocking at your door. It's really magical. We saw that in Rich. Like I couldn't believe how amazing it was. And now that I'm out of it, looking back and speaking with different financial firms, it's like I tell them like you don't know how good we had it. We had tens of thousands of people that trusted us, hundreds of thousands. And it was because of this trust machine. So we made something, we call it the trust machine. This is our step by step plan to show many people that we can be trusted and we can connect with them. The main part of the plan was education. So we had a 1.5 hour long online class about financial literacy and about money. Um, this was the kind of the picture of it. It was how to become a wealthy Canadian through financial literacy without having to make more money than you do right now. 1.5 hours long. We had millions of Canadians register for this webinar, and it was actually a really good webinar. So let me just get this out of the way first, because if you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to put something together, it has to be the highest level of quality. You need people watching that thinking, oh my gosh, this person is extremely smart. Oh, I didn't know about that. That's really interesting. I didn't really think about it like that. If you're not getting these aha moments, these wow moments, then people are going to go through that class, and if they haven't learned something, if they haven't been amazed, they're actually going to get pissed off at you because you completely wasted their time. So if you're just going to slap something together, you're better off not even doing it. It's actually bad for your brand. You need to go deep, you need to add real value, and you need to blow people away. So that's how our webinars were unbelievable. Go look at the reviews. Enriched Academy, go look at the reviews online, right? Go read some of them. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that was really good." And we were just good. They were fun, they were easy to watch, we made it simple, we genuinely helped people, we provided education, we shared ideas that made people think in a new way, and people started to trust us, and they started to trust us fast. And this was just one webinar. We had others on the back end that we were constantly doing on different topics, so we constantly showed up and delivered value. And you might be thinking that, oh my gosh, this is too much work, and I'll talk about that in a second. But let me ask you this. Honestly, I want to ask you this question right now. Do you think people became our client after watching just one webinar? What do you think? No. And again, it's the trust thing. It didn't happen after one webinar. We actually tracked it. It took about 6 months from them having not knowing who we were, and most people had to register for 4 different webinars before they became clients. Not the same webinar, and this isn't pre-recorded. That's fake. You're lying to people. Lying doesn't work. Recording something and telling people it's real is lying, right? And you're not able to build that connection. Like right now, me and you, we don't have that level of connection as if this were a live event. If this were live, I promise you, the connection would feel different. I'd be engaging with you, I'd be getting you to ask questions, and that's how you have to structure your webinar. But there's an authenticity that you can't fake it. Like, I don't know what it is, but live in real time builds connection better than anything else. And we had different webinars running. We had different team members, coaches that were doing the webinars. So we had a really good system in place. And if you're thinking that this is too much work, you're not going to win if you're going to decide to go down online marketing. If you're going to do offline marketing, cool, you could probably win. But if you decide to do online marketing, this is the requirements. This is the level of effort that it takes, and that's just the reality of it. Just to give you some perspective, JP Morgan puts out over 100,000 original pieces of content every year because they get it. They understand it. Education grows their business. Go on their website right now. Go look at their insights. They got podcasts, videos, webinars. They got huge events that they do. They got their senior leadership team. Do you think that they're busy? You think that the senior leaders of JP Morgan are busy? You think that they want to do a webinar? Probably not, but they're going to do it. Why? Because they know it builds their brand, right? So if you want your firm to thrive in the digital age, you must position yourself as the authority. In education, that is how you do it. Okay, lesson number 2. Oh, this is so important. This is a huge mistake I see lots of firms making. They have their advisors do the first calls with potential clients. The first call is a sales call. Let's call it what it is. That first call is the most important call in the success of your business. And if you don't have that dialed in, then you are going to miss out on a lot of opportunity to make money. So your financial experts, your advisors should not be doing sales calls, period. But most firms, they take their advisors, the people who can build a retirement plan or an accounting plan, in their sleep, and they have them do their sales calls, right? That's like asking your star quarterback to also sell tickets at the stadium, right? That's crazy. Isn't that, doesn't that sound insane? But both jobs are important, but they're different skills. So here are the two problems with doing that. One, most advisors cannot sell. They are not trained to sell. I've listened to these calls. They educate too much. They're not able to book the next step. They don't have the right systems for getting people to show up. They're not following up at all because they're busy servicing their clients. And guess when? When I speak to most advisors in a firm and I ask them like, what's the part of your job you hate the most? Guess what they say? The sales. They're like, I hate doing the sales, man. Like, I just want to help my clients, create a plan for them, meet with them. I don't want to do these sales calls. So let's stop getting them to do sales calls. And they're not good at it, and you're losing money. So why are we doing this? It is insanity. And if you are not closing 30% of those first calls, it's because the advisors are not good salespeople. So every minute that they're selling is a minute they're not serving the clients who are already paying you. And those are the people and the reason that your lights are on. So here's what we did. It was so simple, but it meant doing things completely different from what everyone else usually did. We created a team and a process to do the call with clients. So we hired and trained people who knew how to talk about money. We trained them, right? And that first call is not a financial call. You're not giving retirement advice or financial advice. If you're not closing a big percentage, that's probably the reason is you're getting on those first calls and you're like, "Oh, I'll help you with your retirement, man." You're just answering the questions that they have. No, 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 no. That is not how you get sales when it comes to the financial services industry. All right. You need to treat that first call. There's a structure to it. And maybe I'll do a video in the future to talk about what that call needs to look like. But we had a whole team, and that's what we did. Right. So we called them assessment calls. That's the other big thing that we did. It wasn't um, like a sales calls, an assessment. And we positioned it like, hey, you know what? We're not sure if we could work for you. We're not sure if we can help you. Let's get on a call and let's see if, we're a good match. Let's see if we can work together. We also made a smooth handoff. So we created a simple plan so that the sales team could pass a potential client's info to the advisors with everything that they needed to know. Now, did we prohibit potential clients from speaking to advisors? No, we facilitated meetings like that. But at the end of the day, there were two job functions. One job function was getting clients, the second job function was servicing them. They're completely different skills. Now, they do relate to each other, but they are different skills. Okay, and here are the results. More people showed up because just getting someone to book a call doesn't mean that they're going to show up. You have to have the salespeople call them. You have to have them texting them, sending reminders. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work, well, this is the reality of it. This is why most financial firms cannot make online marketing work, is because all these small details add up. We had way higher conversions, honestly. Like our coaches at the firm that I worked at were not great at sales. They hated it, in fact. So when we got them off that, it was better. Um, and again, like the on the right hand side is how happy our coaches were, and they were way happier, or advisors, whatever you want to call them, right? For us, it was financial coaching. Um, And so lesson number three, let's get into it, is sell a smaller offer first. This right here, I think is um, gonna blow a lot of you away. I think that this is really gonna open your eyes because this is why most financial firms are not able to make ads work, and this is why we were. And again, we went from 0 to 825 in 3 years, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. So here's the key lesson from for this section. Get your money back faster. If you're going to spend money on ads, you got to get it back faster, right? It often takes a long time to earn revenue after you spend money on ads. That long wait adds a lot of pressure. It's because a sales cycle for these people from going not knowing who you are to becoming a client, it's a long sales cycle. Like ask yourself right now, what's the length of your sales cycle when you just meet someone to them becoming a client? It's at least 6 months, if not more, right? So the old way had a really big problem. You spent a lot of money on marketing, then you have to wait several months, and maybe some people say yes, and then you can't really evaluate if the marketing was good or not. Only then do you get your money back if you're lucky. Sometimes you don't even get your money back. So here's a secret to growing your business fast in your firm. There's a reason why these big firms right now can spend money way more than the smaller ones is they can wait. They understand this key. If they drop a pile of money in January, they're totally fine not seeing that money again until next January. There's no stress on them. They're like, okay, yeah, no, it's fine. We get it. Now, small and mid-sized firms, they don't have that luxury. If you spend $5,000 in January, you are looking at your P&L by February thinking, where's my money? Did this work? Why haven't I made my money back? And that's added a lot of financial pressure to your firm. Right now, imagine in February you have to spend $5,000 again, and then March 5,000 again. So you probably will go from January to July spending 5 grand a month. You've now spent what, $30,000, and you probably won't get a client yet. So that's a lot of financial pressure for firms, and this is why they can't run ads. This is why it doesn't work. This right here. So you might not see a return until July, 6 months, right? And it causes a lot of big problems. You hold back on trying new ideas. You get tight on cash when you're trying to grow. You start second guessing every dollar, and then you change strategies. You don't give it enough time to nurture, and you don't even know if it's going to work. It's too long to evaluate because these clients take so much time to nurture. So we came up with a different way, one that still builds trust and gets your money back faster. I'm going to go through what that looks like and how we figured this out. So think about meeting someone offline, right? Again, you don't just walk up to them and say, hey, let me manage your money. You start with the conversation, you build some trust. If it's a good fit, you work together. Online works the same. Here's how we did it. I mentioned this. We had the free online class, 90 minutes. That was really good. Now, here's the magic. On that online class, we didn't ask people to book a call with us. We offered a 597 financial literacy course. Okay. And this is where the magic happened. I'm going to explain the economics here. It's going to blow you away. And then after that, for all those new leads in our database from running our marketing, then we offered one-on-one financial advising. So we offered one-on-one financial advising to people that bought the course, didn't buy the course, didn't attend the webinar. We had all these leads, but let me show you the economics of it. This is why it's so worth. You don't have to build out a whole course, right? But having a smaller ticket offer than full on wealth management or whatever it might be that you're offering. I'll show you why. Okay, so let's say you spend $5,000 on ads. This is what it looked like for us. We'd spend $5,000 on ads, we'd run the webinar, we'd make that $5,000 back. Amazing. Now we're break even. We didn't make money, but we haven't lost money. But why would you do that? Well, now we have all these leads, and a percentage of them became paying clients. So instead of ads just costing money, they were now making money, right? So again, let me show you how this looked like. Let's say you spend 5,000 on ads to promote your free online webinar. During the webinar, let's say you get, 100 people show up. Out of those 100, 10 of them buy your course for $500. Okay, now you're breaking even. So what's the point of that? Well, you build trust. Your class helps people trust you and just increases that level of trust. And now you can have access to these leads that signed up for your class without having to spend any money. You've broken even. How amazing is that? Now you have like 300 leads that you can continue to nurture and reach out to that you got for $0 out of pocket. And you do that every month. Over the year, you now have this big list. And I promise you, a big percentage of them will turn into paying clients. And that's what we did at Enrich. And that's where the magic was, right? You repeat the process every month. We were making money too. Like, this is assuming that you just break even. We were making money from selling the course every single month. And then a large percentage of them, I think it was like 15% of people that bought the course, bought coaching, and stayed clients for a very long time. So this is assuming that you're just breaking even. So with this plan, you're not guessing if ads will work. You're getting that money back quickly. You know, every dollar brings a return and sets you up for future clients. That's the magic with the strategy like this. Okay, so the three big takeaways: build trust before selling, right? Financial decisions take trust. You got to earn it with education. If there's one word that you need to implement in your online marketing strategy, education. There is a magic to it. If you want to study the psychology, go ahead, but it builds trust and authority like nothing else. Let your salespeople handle the first calls. Okay. If you have a dedicated sales professional, run the first conversation, position them as assessment calls, see if they're a good fit. Now, if you're like, I don't want to go hire someone, this is what I would do. Send an email out to the advisors at your firm, say, hey, we're doing more online marketing. We'd like someone to lead the first call and take a bigger role on for sales, and then pay them, right? Again, that call is so important because this whole process won't work if most of the people that are booking a call with you are not turning into clients because your sales process isn't dialed in. Sell a smaller offer first. Number three, offer a lower cost educational product that makes money right away and builds trust. Doesn't have to be a product, could be a service, could be like a 360 audit for $1,000, whatever it might be. This turns your marketing into self-funding system that gives prospects a stepping stone towards becoming full clients. And it's honestly better for the clients as well. Why? Because they're not going to be like, you know what? I don't want them to manage my money yet. I want to take them on a test drive. So you know what? I'll do this 360 audit. It's $1,000. And we'll try it out. Let's see if I like it, if I like working with them. So it's better for the client as well. It's better for you as well. So win-win. All right, if you enjoyed this video here, I have another video on how to build a $1 million webinar system for your firm that you could watch right here.